are going to make some M&M cookies. But before we get started, I would like to introduce our special guest. We have Grandma Joy here today. She is going to help us bake our cookies. Would you like to say anything, Joy?
Yes, I would. They call me the Juliet Childs of Jordan, Minnesota. That's how much I bake. So I have domed pearls in my nice shirt.
All right, first graders, we are ready to get started. Okay, our first step before we actually start baking the cookies is we need to wash our hands. So make sure you get some soap and water and you wash them for 20 seconds. Today we are going to be baking with 11 different ingredients. You are going to use each ingredient to bake those cookies, and Grandma Joy is going to go through them with you.
All right, so our first ingredient is going to be white sugar, and you will use 1 cup, and that's the biggest cup that you will use for baking. So we have 1 cup, then we use brown sugar, and we have 1 cup of that, and then we have a stick of softened butter, so you should be able to squish it like that. Then we go to half a cup, which is half of the 1 cup. We have a half a cup of oil. Then we have 2 eggs, which we haven't cracked yet. We'll show you how to crack it. And then we move to the 1 teaspoon, and this is also with baking. So you have 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then we're back to using the cup, and we have 3 cups of flour. And last but not least, we are using this bag of M&Ms.
After you have gotten all your ingredients, you are going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now this is something very important. I don't want you to do this on your own. Okay, I want mom or dad or an older brother or sister, someone that's home with you to help you out with this. This is a safety thing. I need to make sure that you stay safe. So when you come over here, you're going to get it onto bake and get it up to 350 degrees. To get us started, what we need is our sugar, brown sugar, butter, and oil. When you have measured out those 4 ingredients, we are going to mix those 4 together first. So the first ingredient going into our bowl is our cup of sugar. Our second ingredient going into our bowl is our cup of brown sugar. Next is our stick of butter. So we're going to put our stick of butter into our bowl. And last, into our bowl, we are going to put our oil. We have a half a cup of oil. Once all of those ingredients are in the bowl, you are going to need either a hand mixer, or if you have a spoon, you can use a spoon. You need to mix these 4 ingredients together till they are creamy. Now that we have mixed together those first 4 ingredients, this is what it should look like. The next ingredients you guys are going to add are your 2 eggs. Grandma Joy is going to teach us how to crack.
So what I do is I get a bowl, so when I crack my eggs, in case I get any shells in there, I don't get it in my cookies. So I crack the egg, tap it on the thing real gently, and then I gently scoop it, just like that. I look for any eggshell. I don't see any, so that looks like a good one. I crack my next egg gently on the counter, and then I try to pull that apart, put that in, and I see no eggshell. And if I did see an eggshell, I can just take a spoon and I can scoop it out of there. So once you have your eggs like that, then what we do is we put it into the creamed mixture. You just dump it in.
Now that they are in our mixture, we need to grab that handy hand mixture and mix them up. Now that your eggs have been added, this is what your dough should look like. All right, we are going to continue on. We are going to add almost all of the rest of our ingredients. Not quite the M&Ms though, those will be last. So our first ingredient we're going to add into our mixture is our vanilla. So we're going to pour our vanilla into our bowl. So your vanilla was just added. Now we are going to add our baking powder.
Sprinkle it all around.
After that, we have our baking soda.
Sprinkle that all around.
And finally, we're gonna add our salt.
Sprinkle that all around.
Now that we have those all added, we need that handy dandy mixer again. Let's get started mixing these together. When we add our flour, we are gonna do a little bit at a time, because if you put it all in there at once and then you put the mixer in there, it's gonna go poof, and you're gonna have a mess of flour everywhere. So we're gonna do a little bit at a time, and we're actually going to stir it around with our spoon before we use our hand mixer. Wow, my hand is getting tired. Time to use our mixer. I'm gonna get all the dough off my spoon. And back to that wonderful mixer we have. Make sure when you use your mixer, you start off slow. Looking a lot like cookie dough. Make sure when your dough is all done that you get your beaters as clean as you can.
No, wait! You cannot eat the cookie dough. There's raw eggs in there, Danny.
Oh, I wanted the cookie dough.
No.
The last ingredient that we need to add is our M&Ms. Now these are something you can eat. And Miss Allen, of course, is going to eat anything with chocolate. So I'm going to eat 2 M&Ms before we get started. I don't like to share my M&Ms.
Oh, Miss Allen, sharing is caring. Thank you.
Now when you do your M&Ms, so the first thing you're going to want to do is change to your spoon. Okay, when you use a mixer, it gets a little too messy and it starts to break up the M&Ms. So you'll use a spoon to mix in your M&Ms. You're going to want about 2 cups of M&Ms. We have about 2 cups of M&Ms in our bag. These are the other things that you're probably going to want to pour in a little bit more slowly so that they can really get mixed around in all of the dough. All right, here we go. Pour a couple in. Now remember, don't eat all your M&Ms, you're gonna run out. And start to mix it around. Now that all your dough is mixed together, this is what it should look like. All those M&Ms are mixed in there. After your dough is mixed, we're gonna start putting them onto our baking sheet. Before you start putting them on the baking sheet though, I would suggest that you spray them with some oil. So we're gonna spray our baking sheet. And then we're gonna start to put the dough onto the sheet.
So we're gonna try to make it a little bit of a ball. Try to get some good M&Ms in there. We're just gonna set it on the sheet. That's all we gotta do. And we're gonna keep a little space between these so they don't run into each other. Okay, grab some more. Try to keep them the same size if you can, but sometimes that gets a little hard. If you can keep them the same size, then they'll cook the same. Here we go. Now, if you get a cookie like this one that doesn't look like there's a lot of M&Ms on it, if you have some extra M&Ms, don't be afraid to just poke them in the top, okay? Like this one has enough. We don't have to worry about poking that one. But that guy looked a little lonely, so we're gonna add some M&Ms in.
Our baking sheet is ready to go into the oven. Now, I was always taught to use oven mittens when putting sheets into the oven. So I'm gonna go get my oven mittens. All right, I've got my oven mittens on. I'm ready to put my cookies into the oven.
Miss Allen, stop. Those aren't the right mittens. Those are mittens for the snow. We're not dealing with snow, we're baking. We need oven mittens.
What are oven mittens?
Oven mittens are these.
All right, I've got the right mittens now. And I am an adult, so I get to put my baking cookies into the oven. But make sure you get that adult with you to help you with this part. I'm excited for these. Here they go. Now all I have left to do is sit here and watch.
But first, I think we have to set the timer.
I forgot about the timer.
That's okay, so let's set a timer, and we're gonna set this timer for 9 minutes. Then we'll check our cookies.
Time to check my cookies. These look delicious. Now that we're all done, I guess I'm gonna go watch my TV show.
Miss Allen, come back here.
What?
I don't think we're done. We need to clean up our mess when we're done baking.
I have to clean all of that?
All of this is your mess, Miss Allen.
Oh, this is gonna take me a while.
That's okay, the cookies were worth it.
I hope you guys had a great time baking cookies with me and Grandma Joy. We really enjoyed it, and we are very excited that you guys got to join us. So thank you for joining us.
This is Julia Childs. Bon appetit!